Good morning, kittens. Or afternoon. Hello, Janine. Hello there, Ray. You're looking. Oh, you want your scritches? Let me distract Mama first. Here's your dinner, Mom. Oh, wait a minute. Are you Egon? Let's see which one's which real quick. uh, okay, I'm in trouble. They both weigh 10.7. Definitely darker tail. I believe somebody commented earlier that Egon had the darker tail. So Ray, Egon. So far, that currently means Egon has a no weight gain today, but that's not uncommon to occasionally. And he still has got plenty of time before weighing. Other heads are more round. Let me see about this necktie thing. Collar. Oh, it's a perfect fit. There's room to grow. Yeah, somebody mentioned about eye development. Let me check that. Okay, I did identify him correctly. Egon's eye needs a bath. Yep, Ray's eye still opening a little bit. Egon has the collar. These kittens probably have the cleanest kitten butts in existence. Okay. Looks like it's just my hands that do not have permission to enter the cage. I thought they were too big for the collars, but once I tried it on Egon, it was just the perfect size with a little bit of slack. So I'll definitely be keeping a close eye on it just to make sure Mama doesn't have any problems with him wearing it. No worry about it coming over his mouth. It's small enough that it won't reach over his mouth, but it's elastic, so it'll pull off if Mama decides she doesn't like it. But as you can see, it's hard for her to see it because his fur folds over it. Thank you for CCing, Jesse. I don't have my shoes on, but I'm not going to risk my feet. She's a pretty girl. Kittens tend to, at this age and younger, and even for a couple more weeks, they tend to only purr when they're nursing. And I hear little kitten purrs. It's been a while since I used these collars. I remember now that I have to wait till the kitten's about this age, so their heads are round enough that their neck is narrow and narrower than their head. Let's see, the kittens are 12 days old today. Looked like Egon had a big poop earlier. That could account for his weight loss or lack of weight gain. But again, this is not the official weigh-in, but they both weigh 10.7 ounces. I don't know if she'll take a treat from my hand. She probably will because she'll let me feed her, hold the bowl for her while she eats from it. Yeah, see, Need Me said that he had a massive poop. They've been eating really well. I like it when I don't know, it's the look of pure bliss on the kitten's face when Mama takes care of their necessities. If they really have to go, they just kind of just go limp and relax. If they don't need to go, that's when they start fussing. I guess it is a good thing Janine was brought to a local shelter and then to Purrfect Pals because while her eye may not bother her now, there's a very good chance that it will bother her later. She can't see out of it. It's smaller than her good eye, and her eyelid is adhering itself to the eye itself. If she can see anything from it, it's just shades of light and dark. I like how the kittens, they don't line up in front of the milk bar. They kind of lay down on their side and lounge or on their backs, kind of like how Ray's doing now. I still have the PCU, Peter Containment Unit, the box, and Mama has no intention of moving the kittens to it. This this is the nest here. You can see that my hands don't have permission to enter, but my elbow does. When she did a little wave with her hand, because my with her paws, because my hands were just inside the door. I believe her eye was damaged when she was a kitten, and then due to eye herpes, caused an infection which damaged her eye permanently. When she looks at me, she doesn't face me straight on. She has her head angled to the side, so her good eye is straight on. So that tells me she's been blind since a kitten. I have a new dog mat underneath the towel, or a dog pad upside down, so that the easy to clean side is up. If anybody decides to climb up to the upper shelf and then go diving off of it, give them a little extra cushion. And there's also a heat insulator. Probably her good eye is what led, I mean, her bad eye is what led her to being rescued. Somebody probably saw it, took her to a local shelter for help. Unfortunately, taking a cat to a kill shelter with a bad eye is typically a death sentence, but the local shelter has an agreement. Local shelters have an agreement with Purrfect Pals that if Purrfect Pals has room, that they will take any cats off their hands, so they don't have to be put down. But when she was brought in, she was very, very pregnant. In fact, she popped 2 days later. So that's probably another reason why they call it Purrfect Pals. I think she was owned as a kitten and then either let outside and then roamed away, or she was abandoned. But she definitely has people skills. She's just extremely protective of her nest area. She rubs up against my legs, my feet. If I'm standing, she will flop at my feet and roll around. Right now she's rubbing up against the cage door. Oh, she just hopped inside the little box, slipping around. Kittens are playing. Sorry guys, gotta interrupt playtime for belly action. Yeah. What? Here goes mom. She's a feisty one. She'll keep you on your toes. Mostly with her, she's like my oldest cat. You really can't give him attention. She has to take the attention from you. She does all the work. You just sit there and take it. But when she does swat at me, it's kind of like just a half-hearted, no danger to my being type swat. Happy May asks how Cougar is doing. He's doing excellent. It's like he's never been sick right now. He's extremely spoiled on the kitten canned food, though. I have to buy a new case every week for him. But that's fine. He's eating. Oh, look at that belly shot. She looks like a typical tabby. I don't see any typical, Bengal-like spots. She's more of a classic tabby with the large, round, circular stripes on her flank. I think the kittens have similar markings, or they will. Uh-oh, milk bar fight. Both going after the same nozzle. Ray has evicted Egon, and then Mama evicts both of them. She's over rubbing against stuff now. Now her cat kitty. Ray likes his squitches. Oh, here goes Mom. I petted her with my elbow, and she like gave me a light swat, saying, "No, you no touch me. I touch you." Yeah, she gives me a headbutt and a swat. Headbutt and a swat. But if you notice, her tail is up, which means she's not nervous or scared. She's just training me. She's scratching her claws against a mini tower right now. There you go. Oops, slow down there, Ray. Incoming. Get in there, Egon. Let me see. She wouldn't be going belly up like this if she didn't trust me. She's just very. She reminds me of the old school nannies from like the 1900s. You know, smack your hand if you do anything wrong. Or the Catholic nun at school. Break out that ruler and smack. Rob Knight asked if Janine ever slow blinks at me, and she does. She started relaxing once I started doing that to her too. Made me ask how Shiva's doing. She's eating, which is the big thing. She seems to become exceedingly picky over what she eats. Like, for example, she likes tomato juice or tomato sauce. She likes beef. It has to be beef only. If it's cat food, it can't be chicken, can't be tuna, can't be fish, can't be anything, but it has to be beef. And it has to be the soft pate. You know, no chunks or anything. She's still moving around. She's got plenty of energy, so that's a good thing. But she's very skinny. Feel her bones all around her. Sorry, Amber, try lowering your video quality just a notch. If you're having COD issues, it's probably because of that. Maybe local bandwidth. If you're downloading something, that would definitely cause it. Nina asked who is Sheba. She's one of my cats that has been ill lately. She stopped eating, lost a lot of weight. Got her back to eating again, and her weight keeps her roller coasting around at somewhere in the 6 pound mark. Susan asked if that was Sheba in my Facebook picture I posted this morning. It was. There is. If you're curious about that picture and other pictures of my cats, if you go to the critter room and click on the About section, you'll see a link to my profile. You're more than welcome to follow my profile, but I just ask that you only follow. Don't friend me if you're not in the Seattle area. If I don't know you or if you're not in the Seattle area, I won't accept. I'll delete the request, which will automatically convert it into a following request. So you'll still be able to see pictures that are public and stuff like that, which is pretty much everything. My personal profile is not for everyone. I post a lot of geek tech type stuff, things I think are seriously awesome, considering the sciences. And I very rarely post cat-related things that aren't my own cats. I do have a very odd sense of humor. I have a very sarcastic personality. I have a dark sense of humor, which I don't post too many of that onto my personal profile just because there's nearly 3,000 followers who probably don't. I do tend to post off-color stuff sometimes. And occasionally I will post deep thoughts to encourage debate. Oh, we broke the 1,000 viewer mark. Yay! Shot up to 1,000, over 1,000 after the cam went live with these guys, but in the past week it's been hovering, getting up to around 800. Let's see, what time is it? 2:49. Don't forget to, if you haven't noticed yet, if you're in the U.S., set your clocks ahead an hour. This is my favorite day of the year because that means an extra hour. We start getting an extra hour of sunlight in the evening. I love the daylight hours in the night. In the Pacific Northwest, the sun sets, and it finally gets dark around 10 p.m. in the summer. Unfortunately, we pay for that in the winter when it gets dark by 5 p.m. Let's see here. It's time to introduce ChickenFish, aka Uncle ChickenFish, aka the first one. I have several chicken fishes, aunt and uncle. Uncle has no fish hanging from it. Aunt does. He's getting old enough now that I only put him in there when the kittens are really young. These are called tribbles. And fuzzy, Mama probably not sure what to make of them. Are they another kittens? Mom's finishing off her lunch, which means kitten petting time. Hi, Ray. I know you really like that, don't you? It's like, but I was in the middle of dinner. Where's my milk bar? Ears are starting to unfold. They do have a pink dribble, but I think it's buried under something right now. Or it's in the TARDIS tower where all the toys are being stored. Escapee! Let Mama get used to them being in the cage before I get too close to her. This is an old ChickenFish, Uncle ChickenFish, as the viewers know. You can tell which one is which because Uncle has no baby hanging from here. He used to, but that was a long time ago. That one looks like the green one is tentative. It looks like there's a little mouth under the blue one. Henry asks, is there a reason why the majority of the kittens have been boys? It's a flip of a coin, really. The hairband is on Egon. But for Egon's purposes, it's a collar. They help me tell them apart because right now they weigh exactly the same thing. Egon's tail was getting a little darker before Ray's, so that's how I was able to tell them apart. And by the eyes. Egon's eyes are slightly more open than Ray's. And this kind of proves it because Ray is the squeaky one. Trying to make the green one look even more tentative. Okay, Mama's giving me her cue. That's time for me to go. Everyone be sure to thank Jesse for CCing for you and me. Enjoy the kittens. Have a nice day.